Now let me tell you something. When Melody, Shari, and her mama hop on live together, it's always a vibe. And this latest one, it had folks smiling, laughing, and saying, now this right here is what peace looks like. Because listen, after everything Melody's been through, the divorce, the drama, the shade, the ups and downs, seeing her just relax with her mom and those beautiful kids, it was a breath of fresh air. So here's what went down. Melody's mom, Miss Vanessa, decided to hop on live, and she was just glowing, okay? You could tell she was in full grandma mode, bragging on her grandbabies like only a proud Nana can. She talked about how smart they are, how well they're doing in school, and how much she loves spoiling them whenever she gets the chance. And you know Melody was right there in the background smiling, because that bond, that family love, it's something real. Now, the fans who were watching were all in the comments saying, "We love this energy," and "This is what growth looks like." Because if you've been following Melody's journey, you know she's fought hard to build this kind of peace. She's been through the fire, but now she's walking in light. Miss Vanessa started telling little stories about the grandkids, how one of them tried to cook breakfast the other day and nearly burnt the toast, how they're always surprising her with random hugs, and how she can't go anywhere without them asking, "Nana, can we come too?" It was the sweetest thing. You could see that pure love between generations, and it just made everyone watching feel warm inside. Then Melody took over the live for a bit. And let me tell you, when Melody starts storytelling, it's like sitting down with your favorite cousin who always has the best stories. She started talking about how motherhood has taught her so much about patience, strength, and forgiveness. She said sometimes she looks at her kids and realizes they've been her biggest motivation through everything. She also talked about her mom being her backbone, how Vanessa always told her to keep her head up even when the world was trying to pull her down. That part hit deep, because we all remember those days when Melody was crying on live, trying to rebuild her life while folks were gossiping left and right. And through it all, Miss Vanessa was right there, calm, graceful, and ready to defend her daughter when needed. What really got fans emotional was when Melody said, "Peace used to feel like something I had to chase. Now it's something I protect." Whew, that line had the chat going crazy. You could feel her growth. She wasn't talking like a woman still stuck in pain. She was talking like someone who found healing and was proud of it. Then things got even cuter when one of the kids popped up on camera, just smiling and waving, showing off a little drawing they made for their mama. Miss Vanessa laughed and said, "See? This is what I mean. They always want to show off for the camera." Comment section exploded with heart emojis. Fans were saying, "This is what love looks like," and "Melody, you're doing an amazing job." But here's the thing, this live wasn't just a family moment. It was a reminder that Melody doesn't need to clap back, doesn't need to fight every rumor or every shade thrown her way. Because at the end of the day, this is what matters: peace, family, and love. Still, you know how social media is. Some people tried to twist it, saying Melody only went live to distract from drama going on elsewhere. But real fans saw the truth. This was a woman grounded in gratitude, showing love to her mama and her babies, not trying to prove a thing to anyone. Miss Vanessa talked about how she loves being the soft place for her grandkids, how she spoils them not just with gifts, but with time, stories, and hugs. She said, "When I was raising Melody, I couldn't always give her everything. But with my grandbabies, I make sure they get all the love I have left." That one line had everyone in the comments saying, "That's what a real grandmother looks like." Melody nodded and said, "And that's why my kids love you so much, Mama." You could see the tears in her eyes. That mother-daughter bond was shining through every second. It was one of those lives that made you stop scrolling just to soak in the good energy. Now, after all that sweetness, Melody decided to give fans a little story time. And y'all know how that goes. She started talking about a recent moment that really opened her eyes. She said she took the kids to an event, and one of them told her afterward, "Moni, you smile so much more now." That stopped her in her tracks. She said that's when she realized that her happiness wasn't just about her anymore. Her kids feel it, they see it, they live it. That hit fans hard. They started commenting things like,
your glow is showing, and Mel, your peace is your revenge. You could tell that this was more than just a casual live. This was healing in real time. Miss Vanessa jumped back in and started teasing Melody, saying, "Now don't let these kids have you wrapped around their fingers too tight." And Melody laughed, saying, "Mama, they already do." It was the kind of mother-daughter banter that just made you smile. No drama, no shade, just love, laughter, and light. But of course, you know the streets of Huntsville can't help but talk. The timing of this live had people whispering. Some said Melody was sending a message, showing that she's focused on her peace and her family, while others are still caught up in the mess. Others said it was a soft reminder to her ex and his circle that she doesn't need chaos to stay relevant. Her joy is her storyline now. And honestly, they're not wrong. Melody doesn't chase clout. She attracts attention just by being authentic. That's what makes her stand out. While others are online arguing, she's online laughing with her mama and teaching her kids how to love better than she was loved. Miss Vanessa also touched on something deep. She said, as mothers, we don't always know if we did everything right, but seeing Melody as a mom now, I know I did something right. That moment, silent tears in the comments, I promise you. Folks were typing, that part and so proud of this family. Then Melody shared a little behind-the-scenes story, how her mom surprised her and the kids with a just because dinner the other night. She said, Mama showed up with bags of food, snacks, and desserts and said, "Y'all been working too hard. Sit down and eat." Everybody laughed because if you know Miss Vanessa, you know she's going to take care of her people, no matter what. The live wrapped up with a prayer moment. Melody thanked her followers for their support, saying she's so grateful for everyone who's been rocking with her through the highs and lows. She said God really has a way of turning pain into purpose, and her mama softly echoed, "Yes, he does." By the end of it, everyone in the comments was emotional. Fans were saying things like, "Melody, this is your season. You deserve this peace, and we love seeing your mom love on you." It was just one of those rare, genuine moments that remind people that behind the fame and drama, there's real family, real growth, and real love. Now, let's keep it real. This live might seem small, but it spoke volumes. It showed how far Melody has come since her marriage days and how she's built a world centered around peace and love. It also showed that Miss Vanessa's presence isn't just as Melody's mom. She's a rock for those kids, a reminder of where their roots are planted. And fans noticed that. Many said, "We love how Melody's mama raised her to be strong." Others pointed out that Melody's energy is completely different now. Softer, happier, freer. That's what growth looks like. And sis, that storytime moment where she said she's protecting her peace, that wasn't just for her. That was for everyone watching who's ever been through something and had to rebuild themselves from scratch. So yes, Melody's mom spoiled her and the grandkids, but it wasn't just about gifts or treats. It was about pouring love into a family that's been through a storm and still came out smiling. When the live ended, Melody said, "This was fun, Mama. We should do this more often." And Miss Vanessa smiled and said, "You know I'm always ready." Fans went crazy in the comments. "We need a show with y'all too. This energy is everything. This is what generational healing looks like." And honestly, they're right. Because what Melody and her mom showed on that live wasn't perfection. It was real life. Two women who've been through heartbreak, betrayal, disappointment, but still choose to love out loud. Melody's peace is her story now. Her family is her focus. And her mama? She's the quiet strength behind it all. So while the rest of Huntsville might still be stirring drama, Melody, Shari, and Miss Vanessa are somewhere laughing, cooking, and building the kind of legacy that speaks for itself.